This week on What Do You Got? We're talking about post-COVID gyms. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Andy Smith,
And I got fat.
and this is What Do You Got? Tim is fat now. What do you got? So when we bring a random topic to the table, the other person doesn't know about, but I have a feeling it's about something about Tim being fat. So Tim, your topic.
Just call me. That was really mean. That was really mean. Post-corona gyms. So I had a revelation the other day. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. New Jersey just announced that they're taking away the mask mandate.
That's true.
Coming up very, very soon. And I know multiple gyms are jumping at the chance to rip those bad boys off.
Yeah.
And I realized the other day that I have not been to the gym since March of 2020.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck off.
Sorry.
So, and I was really pissed off about it at the time, too, because I had really hit a stride. I was going strong. I was getting strong, and I was finally getting in somewhat good shape. And the moment the gyms closed down, I hung up that excuse flag, and I just let myself slope down that terrible ride. So I realized that I had used that excuse for by far too long, and it is now time to go back.
I agree.
Shut up.
I agree.
So now that it's time to go back, you have been going to the gym
Yes.
for a while now. So I, have multiple questions for you, both regarding what gyms are like now that we're in like a COVID, post-COVID type world.
Okay.
And B, what I should be doing now that I'm finally re-emerging as a butterfly.
Beautiful butterfly.
beautiful-
That sounds very Silence of the Lambs-esque.
A beautiful fat butterfly.
So right off the bat, I don't want to get any gyms in trouble, so I'm just going to talk in vague terms. But all gyms are still requiring wearing the mask. But from my experience, nobody gives a fuck. Okay, people that go to gyms all the time are not really worried about COVID. There's a couple people in there that keep the mask on all the time, but I don't know how you do that and still work out hard because you can't breathe.
I will say that the gym I'm going to go to, their clientele is a solid mix of people. So you do probably have a bunch of older, more cautious people.
And the thing is, like, I try to be as, especially when I was first going there, like if I saw somebody wearing a mask and I had to be next to them, like I would put the mask on because, like, I don't know if they have a condition or whatever. So I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. So I throw it on. But, like, the gyms are pretty much like you're not standing next to somebody. Yeah, you're in the same space and all that, but like you take your mask off when you eat in a restaurant. So you have to, like you're all breathing and doing whatever. And you're arguably around some of the healthiest people.
Yeah.
So, you'd hope that if people have COVID, they're not going to be going to the gym for sure because you're not supposed to be exerting yourself much when you're sick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I haven't seen any issues with masks. Like, they tell you, like, hey, listen, like, you're supposed to wear a mask, so just have it on you, on your face. They're like, we understand that you got to breathe and stuff like that, but, like, if people come in to, like, check, like, you have to have a mask on. So, like, as long as you have it, like, it is what it is. Like, we don't really care.
I don't think you're going to know the answer to this, but I got a weird one.
Okay.
So the way I've told you this, the way I work out is I trick myself. I go in the middle of my workday. And it kind of forces me to go to the gym because I get to that point, I get to 11 o'clock, and all my coworkers are looking at me. They're like, oh, you going to go to the gym? And so I'm kind of like,
Shame.
I guess I'm going to go because y'all doing it. But because I go in the middle of the day, I have to shower right after because otherwise I'm going to come back and be absolutely disgusting.
I wouldn't care.
Our
I'd shower because I didn't want to get staph.
Well, you're weird.
Yeah.
Are showers a thing?
Yeah.
I know that they weren't for a while.
Yeah, that's just make the only thing that makes people clean go away. I don't know.
Yo, there
Just
were
talking shit at this point, but-
weird rules when COVID first hit.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird rules with COVID. I mean, granted, we're two dudes in a barn shooting a podcast from Jersey, but at the same time, like, we can talk like we know what we're talking about.
No.
A lot of people do it.
I'm going to talk about, we're going on a weird tangent. I swear to God, we're getting back to the gym thing right after this. But I remember when COVID first hit, they were like, all right, we need people to stay as distant as humanly possible. And because of that, instead of being 24 hours, ShopRite's going to be open for 8 hours a day.
Just to cram everyone in there.
That way, everyone has to go at the same time, and if you work, well, you don't get to eat.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that and being like, I go to ShopRite at midnight all the time because I like to avoid people to begin with.
Yeah, that's why politicians don't build shit. Because they're terrible at making decisions.
All right, back to the gym thing.
Yeah.
So, other than the mask thing, is there any like weirdness that like popped up post-COVID workout gym, bro?
There's nothing really like weird or awkward. It's just that it's hard to fucking breathe with a mask on. Yeah. And like that's really it. There's really nothing different about it. I mean, I guess people are a little more cautious about like where they put stuff and like touching their face and everything, but like a lot of people still wear like minimal clothing and like not afraid. Like I'm way more worried about getting staph than I am COVID, to be honest with you, from a gym, which is why I always like wear sweatshirts and shit.
I don't think I've ever heard someone talk about staph infections
I've had
more
it.
than you.
That's why I've had it. It sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to just it really makes you appreciate. Like one of the things I liked about going back, like I had the home gym and I could get by with it, but really like to make any kind of substantial things. I mean, if you have a good setup at your house, you can do it. But one of the reasons why I like going to a gym is because you're there for one reason. When you're at your house, like, you know, someone could come in the driveway or, you know, someone, you know, you look at like, oh, I got to do laundry too. Or like, oh,
I was about to say you can fucking dilly-dally.
There's so many distractions that not even like that you're going to stop and do it. But like you look at things like, oh, I got to do that. That's right. Or like, oh, I got to wash my car. So whatever it is. When you're at the gym, you're just like, I'm here for one reason, to work out. And there's something that's special about that where like you can hyper focus in like a place like that, because it's almost like a place of reverence, like a church. Like you go there to pray, you go there to lift or work out. So and also being around people, like just being around people.
Yeah.
That are acting normal. No one's giving anyone any shit. It's just you're around other human beings, and there's like we're tribal people, so we want to be around other people for the most part.
We do, although I will say that me and you, Jim's personas are very differently. I'm not a fan about being around people in the gym.
No, I mean, I don't mean like being like this. I'm talking about because of Corona, COVID and all that. In the past year and a half, there hasn't been many times where you go to a place and everyone is just kind of casually walking around.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you're either like standing in a line, waiting to go to a booth, or everyone's just staying very away and standing very still. Like this is kind of like, oh, like this feels normal again. And there's some vitality there.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that. Yeah. So, suggestions about going back to the gym, you said? What should you do?
Yeah, well, this is my thought to begin with anyway, because it really has been a hot minute in my body. I haven't gained any weight, ironically. Maybe a little bit, but nothing substantial, but I've gotten soft as fuck.
Ooh,
soft.
Pillsbury.
Yeah. Doughboy style.
I got you.
You could bake me and I'd be fucking delicious. Absolutely delicious. I'm delicious all the time. Who am I kidding?
My bacon here is fucking boiling.
It's so hot.
Sweatshirt was a bad choice.
So... this is just a generic. If you have been fat and lazy and have taken a solid amount of time off, you and I, what do? You and I approach them differently to begin with anyway. Eventually, my normal routine is going to go back to the 5-day split.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I know, and I have used it before, and I've made progress with that before.
Yeah.
But for the next 2 weeks, I think, or 2 weeks from when I get started, I'm going to do my best just to get my body used to moving. Am I doing anything differently than what I would do in those 5-day splits? It's completely different. It's somewhat different.
My suggestion would be, if I'm keeping it very simple, do not try to do anything close to what you were doing before weight wise.
Oh, I'm not.
So, but
I can feel it. I know I'm not there
for several weeks. Like it'll be very tempting to be like, you get like one full cycle of your 5-day split in, and you're like, I'm good. No, because you need to relearn like how to get sore, and then how to deal with the soreness, and then like you first time working out, like you're fresh as fuck. next week after the first time you're working out, like you might be more sore than you thought, or you might, have some naggy things that are going on, or might be not as limber as you were because you haven't been moving. So I would just suggest like dropping whatever weight that you're normally doing, like drop it by like a significant amount and just stick with that for like a solid month.
Okay.
And just feel how your body is. And just stick to the routine. Just go every day. Even if you go and if you do like half of your workout that you normally do, just get there. Because that's most of what it is actually arriving at the gym. And you have a good situation set up because you can go right in the middle of work. Which is good because it's time based. So like I have to get in and get out. I have to get in, get out, and shower. So like you're not fucking off doing bullshit. Like if you're going there, you're going to work.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be a problem. I would just say to avoid injury, which is always my main thing, because if you get injured, you can't train, you can't work out. So to avoid injury, even like small stupid things like tendonitis, and which can be really fucked up. Definitely just stay with the lighter weight, and don't go crazy reps either, because that could be just as easily get you injured as going lighter. It doesn't seem that way, but it can. But yeah, it does suck when you haven't really gained a lot of weight.
I haven't. Like I've gained barely anything, but I've definitely gotten soft.
Yeah,
I have to suck it in a lot harder.
That's when it
to.
sucks.
Yeah.
Like go ahead.
It's funny. I've always been relatively the same way. Right now, I'm around 170.
Okay.
Probably. When I was in my prime, I was prime. About a year ago, maybe well over a year ago, I hit 160 briefly. And I remember being excited because I wanted to bulk back up to 170. And I had started to do that a little bit. I think I ended up being at like 163. So maybe I did gain like 7 pounds.
Yeah.
So nothing huge, but 7 pounds, 7 pounds. But my body was just shaped differently. I still had a little bit of a gut, but when you just have like ever so slightly bigger shoulders, chest, arms, blah, 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 everything just fits you different.
Yeah, 100%.
I can see myself in the mirror now.
Yeah.
I see myself.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling.
No.
I remember after my first surgery, I had the mindset because it took me so long to get to 255 pounds. Because that's the first time I ever got to that point, and blowing the shoulder out, whatever, it was already blown, but I didn't know it. But I got the surgery, and my thought was, it took me so long to get, because I was only like 22, 20, whatever the fuck I was. I was like, it took me so long to get to 255. I don't want to lose all the weight just sitting around for 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months before I can go to the gym, because it's a major surgery.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just keep eating the way that I've been eating, try to keep the weight on, and then all I have to do is lose the weight. And then a couple weeks or like a couple months into it, because all you're doing is sitting around. Yeah. And I'm like, after we would go to the gym, like me and Shane or whatever, we would go to the bagel place. We get like, huge egg sandwiches with Taylor ham, bacon, and then paninis, and then we'd come home and order a pizza. Like you're talking like thousands of calories just trying to gain weight. And you're young, so you burn a lot of it off. But I remember I was trying to keep up with it, and I was sitting on the computer once, and I didn't have a shirt on, and I was out of my sling, and I remember I didn't have a shirt on, and you know how like you slouched at the computer, which makes everything look horrible.
Yeah, it does.
Like even somebody with abs, like once they sit down, you're like, oh, you're kind of fat. You're like, no, I'm 2% body fat. They're like, yeah, but you're fat. Like. So I sat down, I looked down, and I had a belly. Like a belly. I remember I literally looked down, and with both hands, I just grabbed it. And I shook it, and I said out loud, I go, you piece of shit. You piece of shit. And that's when I was like, no, I can't do this. Because I looked at that, and I was just like, I'm doing this for nothing. Like, the fat isn't helping me or whatever. So after that, like from all my surgeries and all that, because after I came back, I realized like, oh, like once you've been there, it's so much easier to get back.
Yeah.
So after
That's what
that,
I'm banking on.
yeah, after all that, like after all the surgeries, I was like, all right, what you need to do is just keep the same, at least the same, if not a little less of the amount of fat that you have now. And that kind of means like, hey, if you're hungry and you didn't do shit all day because you had surgery or because you can't train, like maybe just go a little hungry that day or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Because trying to lose 20 pounds is difficult when you know what I mean? Like
It's
it's
hard.
hard for anybody.
Yeah.
But like just to maintain, it's so much easier to just say no to like those little random meals that you don't need than to be like, now I have to be good all the time because I need to be like calorie deficient. So it was I just remember I never did it again.
Yeah.
Like I'd gain like a little bit of weight, blah, 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 but it wasn't like I felt sluggish.
Do you want to know the weird source of, I don't know if it's inspiration or jealousy that has partially spurred this / like gotten me like, grr.
What?
And this is going to be the last thing that we're going to sign
Yeah,
off. My coworker is a middle-aged housewife.
Okay.
Her son is 18 years old, senior in high school, captain of the football team, and she's been telling me all like these horror stories of him working out and doing this, that, the other thing, and it's
Horror
like
stories.
it's like flashbacks. You know how like when you were young, you were dumb and you were doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
She's telling me that type
surgeries to
that
prove it.
that type of stuff, and like he's working out at somebody's home gym, and they're like deadlifting constantly, and I could tell like what he's eating is not quite right, but he's young and his body is like adjusting very, very fast, and so she keeps showing me. She was like, he would, and he's relatively tall. I think he's like 6'1", 6'2", something like that, and she's like, he was 180. He was all excited because he just hit 210, and he's still under 10% body fat, and I was like, what? And she showed me a picture of him, and it's an 18-year-old kid, and I'm a 33-year-old fat ass. So it's apples and oranges, but like this kid throughout the corona pandemic got fucking jacked, ginormous.
Good
and
for
I'm
him.
just sitting there like,
Yeah.
you piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
such a piece of
that's good
shit.
because it's like a competition thing too. You're competing with somebody that doesn't know they're in a contest.
I know.
Yeah, but that's good.
He's going to college. Can't wait for him to get fat.
He just gets way more shredded and way more jacked.
I think he's going on their football team too. So yeah.
Well, good luck. You want me to keep you honest?
I'm joining the gym. If I join the gym,
Don't dodge the question. Ask your question.
I'll-
Do you want me to keep you honest?
we'll keep honest. It's funny that I'm telling you this way because I originally had planned on Tuesday. Monday's a holiday. We're
Yeah.
recording this a week ahead of time. I was gonna send you a picture
Of you in the gym?
of the gym and be like, "Guess who's back, bitch?"
I like it.
But this is the way I'm saying it, so it is what it is. Anyway, let us know what you guys think about going back to the gym post-corona. Have you been there? Is the atmosphere different? Am I making shit up? Have you not been back? Do you plan on going back? What is your plan? Make a plan. Make a plan, Stan. In the meantime, go to brodownbro.com. You can get a bunch of cool gym gear.
Jack.
You interrupt my flow.
That's a song, bro.
It's still my flow.
Well, your flows need some work.
Go to brodownbro.com.
Just like your arms.
We have gym bags. Well, we have drawstring bags. Peace out.
Goodbye.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking